Alright, 3.5 video, day 3, last video in chapter 3. So hopefully you've made it successfully this far, and let's keep going. In this video, what you will see are the applications for the algebra of functions. In this video, you will see your profit, your cost, and your revenue equations, and how to use them in the real world, and how to use them specifically for the two application problems that we're going to take a look at. Alright, so your application problems, here we go. So, first one, let's read this to yourselves. I kind of broke it down for you in this first one. You're going to see in the second one that the second one is going to be how you see them on a quiz or on a test. But the first one I figured I'd show you. Okay, take a look at the steps that I'm thinking about in order to try to solve this problem. So if I look at it, fixed cost is $2,500 and the variable cost is $4.50 per book. Marketing studies indicate the best-selling price for the book is $9.50 per copy. So find the cost, the revenue, and the profit functions for this book. You have to be careful. Understand that revenue is how we make money. That's your income. Your profit is found by simply taking the cost and the revenue functions and doing something with those. But let's take a look, first of all, let's take a look at the cost function. What is costing us money? Well, the first thing I notice is that I have a fixed cost of $2,500. That's a fee that does not change. It's $2,500 regardless of how long it's been. So no variable. My other cost, notice it says this is a variable cost. It's what changes, and it's $4.50 per book. So I'm thinking that's going to be the one that gets the variable. So if I decided to write my cost function, I'm going to use C of x, and I'm going to write it as 2,500 plus 4.50x. It's okay to have it the other way, 4.5x plus 2,500. That's all right. No big deal. So next, now I'm going to take a look at my revenue. How do I make money? Well, it says that they should sell the book for $9.50 per copy. So my revenue, how I make money, I take $9.50 times however many books I sell, and it looks like there is my revenue function. Okay, so cost, what's going to cost me money? Revenue, how am I going to make money? So then to figure out the profit equation, well, I know for profit, we talked about it a little bit ago, I take my revenue, which is my income, minus my cost. So how much I make, I have to subtract off all of my expenses. Okay, that's how we make a profit. So think about what we've been doing in this section. I have my two functions there. My function rule, okay, so kind of put everything together. Here is my function rule. It's saying to take the profit and take the revenue function minus the cost function. So if I do that, I get the revenue minus the cost. So I think what I can do from here, I think I can combine like terms to get my profit equation, which looks like it's going to be 5x minus 2,500. Okay, so it looks like there is my profit equation. So, next step, letter B. Determine how many copies must be sold for the company to break even. Think, when we break even, that means that our revenue is equal to our cost, or understand that our profit is 0. So we're not making any money, we're not losing any money, so our profit is 0. So I think what I can do is, in my profit equation, I think I could plug in 0 for the p of x, and take 5x minus 2,500, and okay, I think I can handle this. I'm just going to solve for x. So I'll add 2,500 to both sides. I'll divide each side by 5, and I get 500 copies. So if I sell 500 copies of this book, I know I'm going to break even. If I sell less than 500, I know I'm going to lose money. If I sell more than 500, I know I'm going to make money. Alright, next one. Here it is. How we wrap up section 3.5. This is how you're going to see it on your test. So, think. I'm going to look at the last sentence. It says, how many cars are needed to earn a profit of 1,500,000? So, I know in order to make a profit, I have to have a cost, I have to have revenue, and that's how I generate a profit. So I'm thinking about, it says the word profit, I know I have to use cost and revenue somehow, so I'm going to try to write those two functions. So let's start with the cost function first of all. I see cost function, I got overhead costs of 185,000, and it looks like I have operating costs of 3,050 per car. So notice it says that it's a fixed annual overhead cost. So one-time deal. Fixed annual overhead cost. And then I have an operating cost of $3,050 per car. Let's think, how would I write my cost function? I think it would look something like that. Alright, so then there's the cost. Revenue. How do I make money? Alright, so it looks like it generates a revenue of $8,450 per car. So my revenue function per car, 8450 times x. Okay, so here's the deal. We know we're going to use this word. That's going to be talking about our new function rule. So I know to figure out profit, I take revenue minus the cost. Combine your like terms. Looks like there is my function for p of x. Okay, so there is my profit function. So now it says how many cars are needed to earn a profit of 1,500,000. Think about what we did before. We wanted to break even. Now we want to earn a profit of $1.5 million. So if I think about that, I'm going to plug in 1,500,000 in for p of x. And now from here, very, very simple, I'm just going to solve for x. I get this. X is 312.04. I'm curious. What's the answer then to this problem? How many cars are needed to earn a profit of $1.5 million? I can't make 0.04 of a car, so is it 312 or is it 313? Well, if you think about it, it's got to be 313. Why does it have to be 313? Well, if I only make 312, I'm not going to quite hit the $1.5 million. But if I make 13, now I'm over the $1.5 million and I've hit my quota. Alright, so that wraps up Chapter 3. Applications. Hopefully you understood what's going on. We'll talk about any questions that you have in class when I see you. Good job.